Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through my round 3 team preview, going through how I think I've been able to relatively fix things up, and I think next week I'll be able to, with using some bench products, be able to get this team up to a really actually good level. I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm just seeing through and I'm thinking my defense has probably 3 out of the 5 that I want, and I've got enough price in Carney to be able to at least use her almost as a downgrade, as she should be still more expensive than the girls that I want to bring in. And I think I've at least gotten one of the big scoring, I've at least got 2 of the big scoring mids, and all my mids I think are averaging over 100 at the moment, or close enough to 100. I think my lowest is Benici with 95.5. So I think I've sort of fixed up that problem as well. And you would have seen it throughout and yes, I did have to sacrifice not getting what I think is a play ahead in Moffat, but getting Schultz, who just evens out against the other people that have in the ruck line. And yeah, so I sort of tried to make it as even as I can. And look, I'm going to be down Whitford versus probably the likes of Garner or something like that. Maybe not Garner, but most people have potentially a row bottom or something like that instead of her, or Maddie Paspark. There's 1 or 2, so I don't think I'm as far behind as I thought I was, but I think I found a way to even it up a lot more. But before we get into the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So as you can see here, 63k left in the bank. The thing that sucks with the girls trading, I find at the moment is, and I think this is something that I think a lot of people have found as well, is that with such volatility in the trades, it seems like, or maybe I'm just unlucky or whatnot, but it seems like I'm having to give up very, very big assets because I just missed the cut or whatever. And one of those big assets that I didn't really want to give up was Anthony against West Coast, as I thought she would do really well there, but I just couldn't play her there. So, and I guess you could say, yes, there's a likelihood that there's a real likelihood that she doesn't isn't a fieldable score, but still that bench product, she could have easily made 170, 180k for me quite easily off the bench, and that would have been really, really good. But she had to be used in a trade, I guess, to effectively swap her for Schultz, because that was needed. I needed to get Schultz in. I needed to get a better scoring ruck in, and Schultz at least being, what is she? Schultz is 32% owned. She's at least not 50, 60% owned, so there is some volatility in the ruck. I mean, you've got Strom at 10%, Moffat at around 7%, Edmonds at 11%. Where's all this ruck ownership? Where is all the... Davies, Schultz and Hoare. Then you got Bree Moody as a terrible ruck. You should be at the moment I'm not saying in terms of actual AFL standard, AFLW standard ruck. I'm just saying in terms of fantasy, she is not a good enough ruck, so you'd be getting rid of her. Seymour as well. I don't really like the look of Seymour at the moment for the price that you're paying. I think you can get more value. So there's like 2 or 3 rucks here where a lot of the more pricey rucks I don't really value that highly. And Hickey as well, I didn't think she'd do as bad as she did. So yeah, I don't think the ruck is too bad. I think Strom or Moffat is the end goal, because I think they're going to average 10 or 15 higher than Schultz, but I don't think it's as bad as having Freya Davies, who just seems to struggle a little bit at the moment. So with my trades, if I actually go to the trades, let's try and make this video actually some structure. So we'll go through the trades. So as I was talking about, Anthony to Riddell, I think that is a massive trade. Obviously, you've got Anthony was on the bench. So if you actually look at it, it was Swanson and Conti effectively Swanson and Conti for Whitford and Riddell. And if you look at their last two, even just looking at their average, if we go to Conti here, we go to their averages. So Conti's averaging 97.5. So let me just put that in the calculator. And then also Swanson is averaging 93.5. So that equates to 191 points average per round. And then you've got Whitford, who's averaging 114.5. And then you've also got Riddell, who's averaging 128. And you see off that trade alone, I'm profiting 52 points per round. And yes, you could say Swanson had the tag from the likes of Single, which potentially cost her 20 points. 20 points still is only 10 points per round. So even if you take away the tag, I'm still profiting 42 points from these sets of trades. And if you really look at them, what's the value of those two? If you go 1.379 plus 1.132 minus 1.2 minus 1.202, and I'm paying 109k right now for 40 points per round. And that roughly makes it so if I can get 40 points per round for the rest of the year between Whitford and Riddell over Swanson and Conti, then I'm making it's valuable after one round basically. And then after multiple rounds, it should be a lot more valuable and actually be worthwhile. But also in this trade set, I'm effectively trading down and saving 50k. So you could almost say that this trade is worth 50k because I'm trading Anthony for Schultz, which is a huge trade because it's potentially plus. What did Fred Davies is averaging 49 and Schultz is averaging 79. So I'm gaining another 30 points there. So what's that? A gain of 70 points overall, roughly 70, maybe 80 points per week for 50k or something like that. So that's just huge value, especially when the multiplier is around about 14. Every point should be worth about 14,000 points. 14,000. I believe that's roughly around the multiplier. Maybe it's at 13 or 12.5 now. But still, even if you think about that, you shouldn't be able to gain that many points in your team that quickly. So next week, like I was explaining probably 5 or 6 minutes ago now, Carney and Thomas are the two that I'm looking to trade out at the moment. And McDonald, I'm hoping will be able to become a red dot, but I don't know if that'll be possible. So the defenders I'm looking at the moment but haven't pounced on. Pound, I like the look of, and against West Coast, if she can put up another 90, I think that's going to be really positive, as she'll probably go up another 120k to 870, and Carney will be around 850, so it might be actually a negative trade if I trade for Pound. Stannett, I like the scoring. I don't necessarily like the role, so that will be an interesting one to look at. Lampard, she's in a wing role this week, but we'll see if that holds. She's named on the wing, but we'll see if that holds. And the wing role could be profitable, but we'll have to wait and see if she can back up that 110. I think it's a lot more positive that she is on the wing rather than being in the back line. As a back line, 110 is a lot harder to replicate in the women's game than wing 110. Darcy, 78 and 67. She's ultra consistent. She's really consistent and could be one to look at. But I'm really looking at Priest, and I'm thinking after her 66, she went up 32k. If she gets another 70 or 80, I think this is really, really good value for money to get over Thomas if Thomas doesn't improve. As yes, it will be paying 140, 150k, but you can see with Nansqui and Hoare and even Stratton that I can get value there very, very quickly. I have, 120, 226, so that's 350k, and then you've got another 160 here, so 510. another 237k, so that's almost 750k. I have almost 800k on the bench, which I can just get into assets already. So I'll probably, hopefully the plan will be to be able to upgrade potentially Thomas with or Carney down or something like that. Get one of these two down, and then potentially look at using Stratton or Hoare or Nansquin or someone to upgrade potentially Benici or Davey or someone like that up to the big dogs. Because if Nansquin goes up another, say, 130k, and we get Bowers going potentially, if Bowers only goes 100 against Hawks, which is very unlikely, she'll drop to, I believe, 1.5 mil. And that'll be a 400k upgrade on Benici or something like that, and get that in, and then you have Bree Davies at M5 or whatever. That would be ridiculous. So yeah, that is sort of the plan, is to get another big dog mid in, if I can upgrade Carney or Thomas or something like that, because Nansquin will have potentially what did she gain last round? She gained 107k for a 49. So if she goes 60 or something like that, I think she could easily get another 100k or so up there, and 100k would be 330k plus. So I'd be at 400k. And I could almost get it from Benici there if Bowers went like 100 or something like that. So yeah, I'm really looking at that and thinking, can I get Carney to someone good and Bowers to someone good, Benici to Bowers from Nansquin, or from even Stratton as well could be used as well, and I could get a red dot there in Thomas. So yeah, there's plenty of plans. I'm sort of going a little bit off topic, but I mean, the midfield here is actually pretty good at the moment. I mean, the original midfield that I had one of Swanson or Conti still in there before trades, like late last night. It had still one of Conti or Swanson in there. I had gotten Moffat in here, and I'd gotten, I think, a red dot or a rookie in there, and I'd still had the 700k on the bench. Whereas I think Nansquin, she's not going to gain as much cash-wise, but she is still going to gain some, as well as being able to float that money back onto the fields and get another one of those 1.1 million midfielders is going to be absolutely huge. So yeah, I think this is a major upgrade. And in the forward line, Single is named she'll be fine. She'll be named. There's no way that they're dropping her, and if they do drop her, well, then that'll be awkward. That'll be awkward, but also if we look at the trades, I guess, in the end, I can easily flip this around a little bit and just reverse something or other, or maybe I'll set it up so that Swanson is on the Riddell line, so that I have the Anthony line to be able to swap that out and do some work there. And yeah, so that is pretty much the video there. Very sort of, I said that I wanted to keep it very streamlined, I guess. But in the end, it's sort of just gone rogue and been almost my trade targets for round 4, or what my plan is. But yeah, really liking, I'll just keep this team up for a second. Really liking the look of the side. Really liking how it's sort of shaping up. And I do this because I'm a fanatic with trying to get the prices in the right order. They were so out of order this. As I look to get to upgrade a little bit, I mean, now looking at this, Thomas at D4 probably needs a little bit of an upgrade. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. I think I'm not that far behind. I am 300 points off the pace or something like that. But I think I could easily catch that up. I don't know, is my team value really only 17.5 mil? I don't think, I haven't gained too much in team value, to be honest, compared to the rest. Some people are already a million ahead of me, but I don't think it's the end of the world, and I think I'll be fine. I'm only, 330 off the pace or something like that from the top guy, and yeah, I think there's so much potential for me to catch up. I think I've limited the amount of, I guess, the ways that I can really lose points compared to the rest. I think it's only really in single, and single is one of the only, I guess, low percentage owned players that I have. Just looking here, Benici is 10%. Wishford could be an outlier, but she's scoring well. So, and Riddell as well. So I did bring in two lower percentages, but they are scoring well at the moment. Should be fine. And the rest of my team is very highly owned. So that is the video. A sort of long-winded video, but I guess I got through it in the end, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks, guys. Goodbye.